That cup of coffee you're drinking right now might contain mold toxins, pesticide residues, and heavy metals that are slowly accumulating in your body. And the coffee companies selling these products know exactly what they are putting in those bags and pods. But they are betting you will never question what is really in your morning cup. Your morning coffee contains hidden toxins. Tonight, we are exposing 8 major coffee brands sold in every grocery store across America. Brands you have trusted for years? Brands that market themselves as premium quality while filling containers with the lowest grade beans available. And what independent laboratory testing has revealed is going to make you reconsider every brand in your pantry. We are talking about coffee contaminated with ochratoxin a mycotoxin that causes kidney damage and is classified as a possible human carcinogen. Coffee grown with intensive pesticide use that leaves chemical residues in every cup. And coffee so heavily processed that beneficial antioxidants are destroyed while harmful compounds are concentrated. Mycotoxins classified as possible carcinogens. Stick around until the end, because I am going to tell you which coffee brands actually test clean and use quality beans. The ones worth your money and your health. But first, you need to know which brands are lying to you about quality and purity. But before we dive into these disturbing details, if you care about what you are putting in your body every morning and want to stay informed about the products you consume daily, hit that subscribe button. Because coffee companies are banking on you trusting their marketing instead of demanding independent testing. Let us prove them wrong. Brand 1. Folgers. Let me start with America's best-selling coffee brand. Folgers has dominated grocery store shelves for generations with their red containers and promises of mountain-grown coffee. But independent testing reveals that Folgers coffee contains some of the highest levels of contaminants found in any major brand. Laboratory analysis found significant levels of ochratoxin A in Folgers coffee. This mycotoxin is produced by mold that grows on coffee beans during processing and storage. The United States has no legal limits for ochratoxin A in coffee, so companies can sell contaminated product without consequence. No legal limits for dangerous mycotoxins. But here is what makes this particularly concerning. Ochratoxin A accumulates in the body over time. It concentrates in kidney tissue and can cause permanent damage. Regular consumption of contaminated coffee means daily exposure to a toxin that your body cannot efficiently eliminate. Testing also detected pesticide residues in Folgers coffee. The beans are sourced from large industrial plantations that use intensive chemical agriculture. Herbicides, pesticides, and fungicides are sprayed heavily throughout the growing season. Those chemicals end up in your coffee cup. Industrial chemicals end up in your cup. Folgers uses the cheapest coffee beans available, primarily Robusta beans, which naturally contain higher levels of contaminants than Arabica beans. Robusta is cheaper to grow, produces higher yields, and tastes harsher. Coffee companies blend it with minimal Arabica to keep costs down while marketing the product as quality coffee. The roasting process Folgers uses is designed for speed and volume, not quality. High-temperature roasting destroys beneficial antioxidants while concentrating harmful compounds. The coffee that reaches your cup has been stripped of health benefits while retaining toxins. Roasting destroys benefits, concentrates toxins. Former food scientists report that Folgers prioritizes consistency and low cost over bean quality. The company blends beans from multiple sources to create a uniform product that tastes the same year after year. This means combining high-quality beans with low-quality contaminated beans to achieve target costs. At $8 to $12 per container, Folgers markets itself as affordable everyday coffee. But you are drinking coffee contaminated with mycotoxins and pesticides, made from the cheapest beans available processed to destroy antioxidants. That is not value. That is paying for toxins in a red can. Brand 2. Maxwell House. Maxwell House is another legacy American coffee brand owned by the same parent company as Folgers. The good to the last drop slogan has been around for over a century. But testing shows that Maxwell House coffee has the same contamination problems as Folgers, just in a different colored container. Independent laboratory testing found ochratoxin A in Maxwell House coffee at levels that would be illegal in Europe. European Union regulations set maximum limits for mycotoxins in coffee. Maxwell House coffee sold in America exceeds those limits, but is perfectly legal here because United States regulations are weaker. Legal in America, illegal in Europe. The pesticide residues in Maxwell House are similar to Folgers. Both brands source from the same types of industrial plantations, using the same chemical-intensive agriculture. Testing detected residues of multiple pesticides, including ones that are banned in other countries but still used on coffee crops. Maxwell House also uses primarily Robusta beans to keep costs low. The harsh, bitter taste of Robusta is masked by blending with minimal Arabica and aggressive roasting. What you taste is not quality coffee, it is cheap beans roasted to hide their defects. Aggressive roasting hides bean defects. The processing that Maxwell House uses strips away the beneficial compounds that make coffee healthy. Fresh roasted quality coffee contains antioxidants, polyphenols, and other beneficial compounds. Maxwell House coffee has been processed so aggressively that most of these benefits are destroyed. Former employees report that Maxwell House and Folgers are essentially the same product with different marketing. The parent company produces both brands using similar sourcing, similar processing, and similar quality standards. You are paying for branding, not different quality. Testing also revealed that Maxwell House coffee contains acrylamide, a chemical that forms when coffee is roasted at high temperatures. Acrylamide is classified as a probable human carcinogen. The aggressive roasting Maxwell House uses creates higher acrylamide levels than gentler roasting methods. Contains probable human carcinogen. At $8 to $12 per container, Maxwell House is priced identically to Folgers, and you are getting the same problems. Mycotoxin contamination, pesticide residues, cheap Robusta beans, and processing that destroys benefits while creating harmful compounds. Brand 3. Dunkin' Donuts Coffee. Dunkin' built a massive business on coffee and donuts. The packaged coffee sold in grocery stores promises to deliver the Dunkin' experience at home. But testing reveals that Dunkin' coffee has serious quality and contamination issues. Laboratory analysis found that Dunkin' coffee contains ochratoxin A at concerning levels. The beans are sourced from suppliers with minimal quality control. Mold contamination happens during growing, processing, or storage. Dunkin' accepts beans that premium roasters would reject. Accepts beans premium roasters reject. The pesticide testing on Dunkin' coffee showed residues of chemicals used in industrial coffee farming. These are not trace amounts. These are detectable levels that indicate heavy pesticide use during growing. Every cup of Dunkin' coffee contains chemical residues from intensive agriculture. Dunkin' uses a blend heavy and Robusta beans to reduce costs. The company markets this as a bold flavor, but bold is code for harsh and bitter. Quality Arabica coffee does not need to taste harsh. The harshness comes from using cheap beans and over-roasting to hide defects. Bold flavor is code for harsh, cheap beans. The packaging Dunkin' uses for ground coffee allows oxygen exposure that degrades quality. Coffee starts losing flavor and developing stale off-taste within weeks of roasting. Dunkin' coffee sits in grocery stores for months. By the time you buy it, the coffee is already stale and oxidized. Former Dunkin' employees report that the packaged coffee sold in stores is not the same as what is served in Dunkin' locations. The in-store coffee is fresher and slightly better quality. The grocery store coffee is produced by a licensing partner focused on maximizing margins rather than matching in-store quality. Testing revealed that Dunkin' coffee has minimal antioxidant content compared to quality brands. The combination of cheap beans, aggressive roasting, and long shelf life destroys the beneficial compounds. What remains is caffeine and contaminants without the health benefits. Caffeine and contaminants without benefits. At $9 to $13 per bag, Dunkin' charges mid-range prices for low-quality coffee. You are paying for brand recognition while drinking contaminated stale coffee made from cheap beans that have been sitting on shelves for months. Brand 4, Starbucks packaged. Coffee Starbucks is synonymous with premium coffee culture. The packaged coffee sold in grocery stores promises to bring the Starbucks experience home. But testing shows that Starbucks grocery store coffee has quality issues that contradict the premium branding. Independent testing found ochratoxin A in Starbucks packaged coffee. While levels vary by product, multiple Starbucks varieties tested positive for mycotoxin contamination. The premium pricing does not guarantee cleaner coffee. Premium pricing does not guarantee purity. The beans Starbucks uses for grocery store coffee are not the same quality as beans used in Starbucks cafes. Former employees report that grocery store products are produced by a separate division with different sourcing and quality standards. The brand is licensed, but the quality is different. Starbucks is famous for dark roasting, which the company calls a signature roast. But dark roasting is also a way to hide bean defects. When coffee is roasted until nearly burned, you cannot taste the original bean quality. All dark roasted coffee tastes similar regardless of bean grade. Dark roasting hides bean defects. Testing revealed that Starbucks dark roasts contain higher acrylamide levels than lighter roasts. The aggressive roasting creates more of this potentially carcinogenic compound. Customers paying premium prices are getting higher exposure to harmful chemicals. The packaging Starbucks uses for grocery store coffee is similar to other mainstream brands. Once opened, the coffee begins degrading immediately. Without proper storage, Starbucks coffee bought at a grocery store will be stale within weeks. Starbucks sources coffee from multiple origins and blends them to create consistent flavor profiles. This blending means combining higher quality beans with lower quality beans. You are not getting pure, premium coffee. You're getting a blend designed to hit a price point. Blend designed to hit price point. At $10 to $16 per bag, Starbucks charges premium prices for grocery store coffee. But testing shows you are getting mycotoxin contamination, high acrylamide levels from aggressive roasting, and blended beans that include lower quality sources. The Starbucks name does not guarantee Starbucks quality. Brand 6, 8 o'clock the coffee. 8 o'clock the coffee has been around since 1859 and markets itself as America's original gourmet coffee. But testing reveals another mainstream brand with contamination issues. Independent testing found mycotoxins at levels that raise health concerns. The beans are sourced from suppliers with varying quality standards. Varying quality standards allow contamination. 8 o'clock uses a blend of Arabica and Robusta beans. While they emphasize Arabica in marketing, testing suggests significant Robusta content to keep prices competitive. Pesticide testing revealed residues from conventional agriculture using chemical-intensive practices. The roasting is middle of the road, hiding some bean defects while still destroying beneficial compounds. Neither benefits of light nor flavor of dark. At $8 to $12 per bag, 8 o'clock shows contamination levels similar to Folgers and Maxwell House. The vintage packaging disguises cost-focused production. Brand 7, Great Value Walmart. Coffee Great Value is Walmart's store brand, covering thousands of products. The coffee is among the cheapest available. And testing reveals you get exactly what you pay for, which is contaminated, low-quality coffee. Laboratory testing found that Great Value coffee contains some of the highest ochratoxin A levels detected in any brand. The beans are the absolute cheapest available from suppliers with minimal quality control. Mold contamination is rampant, highest mycotoxin levels of any brand. The pesticide residues in Great Value coffee are concerning. Testing detected multiple chemical residues indicating beans grown with intensive pesticide use. These are not premium beans carefully cultivated. These are commodity beans grown as cheaply as possible. Great Value coffee is almost entirely Robusta beans. Arabica content is minimal to non-existent. Robusta is cheaper, harsher, and contains more caffeine and contaminants. The coffee tastes bitter and harsh because it is made from the lowest grade beans available. Lowest grade beans available. The roasting is done by the lowest bidder under contract to Walmart. Quality control is minimal. Consistency is poor. Some batches are under-roasted and sour, others are over-roasted and burnt. There is no quality standard being maintained. Former Walmart suppliers report that Great Value coffee is produced to hit the absolute lowest possible price. Every decision prioritizes cost over quality. Contaminated beans are accepted. Processing shortcuts are taken. The final product is whatever can be sold at the target price. Testing showed that Great Value coffee has essentially no antioxidant content. The combination of low-quality beans and poor processing means any beneficial compounds are absent. You are drinking caffeine, contaminants, and nothing else. Caffeine, contaminants, and nothing else. At $5 to $8 per container, Great Value is the cheapest coffee available. But you are drinking coffee with the highest mycotoxin levels tested, multiple pesticide residues, zero Arabica content, and no health benefits. The low price reflects genuinely terrible quality. Brand 8. McCafe Coffee. McCafe is McDonald's coffee brand sold in grocery stores. The association with McDonald's creates expectations of consistency and value. But testing reveals McCafe coffee has serious contamination and quality problems. Independent analysis found ochratoxin A in McCafe coffee at levels that would be restricted in countries with stricter regulations. The beans are sourced to meet McDonald's price requirements, which means accepting lower quality beans with higher contamination risk. Price requirements mean accepting contamination. McCafe coffee contains pesticide residues from conventional farming. The beans come from large industrial farms using intensive chemical agriculture. Testing detected residues of chemicals that are banned in Europe but still used in coffee-producing countries. The coffee is a blend heavy in Robusta to keep costs down while maintaining the caffeine kick McDonald's customers expect. The harsh bitter taste is intentional because that is what mass-market consumers associate with strong coffee. Harsh taste intentional for mass market. The roasting process is designed for consistency across massive production volumes. This means automated roasting that cannot adjust for bean variations. Some beans are underdeveloped while others are burnt. The final product is inconsistent quality masked by blending. Former McDonald's suppliers report that McCafe grocery store coffee is not the same as what is served in McDonald's restaurants. The in-store coffee is fresher and slightly better quality. The grocery store version is produced under license with lower standards. Testing revealed elevated acrylamide levels from the roasting process. McCafe uses temperatures and times that create more of this potentially carcinogenic compound. Customers are getting higher chemical exposure from the roasting methodology. Higher chemical exposure from roasting. At $7 to $11 per bag, McCafe is priced as a value brand. But you are drinking contaminated coffee made from cheap beans, roasted inconsistently with elevated levels of harmful compounds. The McDonald's name does not guarantee McDonald's quality standards. The coffee brands you can trust. After exposing all that contamination, you need to know which coffee brands actually test clean and use quality beans. Here are brands that consistently test low for mycotoxins and pesticides while using quality sourcing and processing. Purity Coffee is specifically formulated and tested to be free of mycotoxins and high in antioxidants. Every batch is tested and results are published. The company exists specifically to provide the healthiest coffee possible. It costs more but delivers measurable purity. Every batch tested results published bulletproof coffee tests all beans for mycotoxins and rejects contaminated batches. The company uses only high-quality Arabica beans and publishes testing standards. The coffee is clean and the sourcing is transparent. Peak Performance Coffee is another brand that tests specifically for mycotoxins and heavy metals. Their organic certification provides additional assurance about pesticide avoidance. The coffee is more expensive but laboratory verified as clean. For budget-conscious consumers, organic coffee from Trader Joe's or Costco provides better value than contaminated national brands. Organic certification means no synthetic pesticides. While not perfect, organic coffee is significantly cleaner than conventional coffee. Local roasters who source high-quality beans and roast in small batches generally produce cleaner coffee than mass-market brands. You can ask about sourcing and testing. Small roasters typically use Arabica beans and gentler roasting that preserves benefits. Small batch roasters preserve coffee benefits. Conclusion: your daily coffee matters. The 8 coffee brands we exposed tonight all have serious problems with mycotoxin contamination, pesticide residues, and low-quality beans. When you drink coffee daily, these contaminants accumulate in your body over time. Contaminants accumulate with daily consumption. When you drink Folgers or Maxwell House, you are consuming ochratoxin A and pesticide residues. When you drink Dunkin or Starbucks packaged coffee, you are getting mycotoxins and acrylamide from aggressive roasting. When you drink community coffee or 8 o'clock, you are getting contaminated beans marketed as premium quality. When you drink Great Value, you are consuming the highest mycotoxin levels found in any brand. And when you drink McCafe, you are getting contaminated coffee that does not meet McDonald's in-store standards. Grocery store coffee does not meet restaurant standards. These problems exist because coffee regulation in the United States is minimal. There are no legal limits for mycotoxins in coffee. There are no requirements for pesticide testing. Companies can sell contaminated coffee without consequence. Laboratory testing reveals what companies hope you never discover. Independent analysis using advanced testing methods can detect contaminants that simple testing misses, but consumers cannot access these tests. You are forced to trust brands that prioritize profit over purity. Forced to trust profit over purity. You have power as a consumer. Stop buying contaminated coffee from brands that use the cheapest beans available. Seek out roasters who test for mycotoxins and use quality sourcing. Pay more for coffee that is actually clean rather than less for coffee loaded with contaminants. If this video opened your eyes to coffee contamination, hit that subscribe button. Because coffee companies are betting on you never questioning what is in your cup. We give you the information they hope you never find. Companies hope you never question your cup. Check your pantry tonight. If you have been drinking any of these 8 brands, you have been consuming mycotoxins and pesticides while trusting companies that do not deserve that trust. It is time to demand better. What coffee brand have you been drinking? Drop it in the comments below. Because when we share our experiences, we realize how many people are unknowingly drinking contaminated coffee every morning, while trusting brands that prioritize cost over quality.